Yeah, hi there, Haytham. This is Michael. I am the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So let's take a look at your question. So you said, when I did the TOEFL exam as a repetition after 2 weeks from the first trial, I noticed that the score is 6 points less than the first one, even though the second trial has felt easier to me. However, you say the quantity of the listening sounded more than the first trial. So you say, if you have time, kindly explain to me, because it's disastrous to see it. Wow, you got a strong word there, disastrous. That means a very serious situation, something very negative. You're probably using too strong of a word, but the TOEFL test is very frustrating. Now, I cannot answer your question exactly. I'm just going to kind of guess, give you some ideas, and hopefully you'll feel better after watching the video. First of all, there can be psychological factors which can explain why you scored lower the second time than the first time. For example, if you're undergoing a lot of stress, let's say you're moving, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your husband or your wife is mad or angry, or you have some kind of a breakup, that's enough right there to cause a 6-point drop. I mean, especially if you're having trouble sleeping the night before the exam and the stress is so great, you're thinking about these things as you're taking the TOEFL, that could cause a difference there. Now, there could be physical reasons. I mean, it is possible you might have been sick on the second TOEFL exam. You didn't feel good. You had a headache. You had some physical problem which made it difficult for you to concentrate during the exam. That could do it. Now, actually, the test itself, I mean, I'll give you an example. The content of the test, you pointed out on the second one, you said the listening, maybe you had more conversations and more talks. It is possible. I think on the listening, you can have anywhere from 36 to like 60 questions, depending on what form of the TOEFL IBT you get. And even that could make a difference in your overall score. Heck, Haytham, I had a student about 3 months ago. I mean, she was very prepared. I mean, she had worked so hard. She got to the TOEFL. Her first independent speaking question was, compare two artists. And she had no idea how to answer that question. She didn't even really know of any artists. She couldn't remember any painters. She couldn't really remember any musicians or actors or actresses. So she just went blank. So for 35 to 40 seconds, when it said begin speaking, she said nothing at all. And then finally, at about 35 or 40 seconds, she started to speak. And then, of course, it was over. And she got almost a 0 on that independent speaking practice test 1. Her speaking score went down 4 points. Right? And that's just from one question. So you can imagine when you're looking at the whole test, it's possible, you know, you read a reading passage or a listening thing or a speaking or a writing task. You just couldn't really connect with it. And then you struggled with that. And that caused you to score lower. So I don't think you should not look at this as your English is getting worse. I don't think that's the case. But like I just said in the video, there could be some psychological factors, some physical factors, or even the test content could have been a factor causing your score to be lower the second time than the first time. But I would say that 6 points, either better or worse than what you did before, is not like a huge drop. So I would not be too worried about that at all. Now, if you look at what you've done 6 months from now and you're 6 points lower than where you were 6 points before that, I would probably be more worried about that. But you're just talking about a 6-point difference 2 weeks after the first test. So in my humble opinion, as a TOEFL online teacher, I don't think that's a big deal at all. All right, I hope that makes you feel better. Anyway, thank you for your comments and for your questions. And remember, if you like my course, tell somebody about it. Send them a quick email, whatever. Now, if anybody else is watching the video and you have any other ideas that you think might help answer Haytham's question, you know, for example, his question is this: Why is my score 6 points lower 2 weeks after my first TOEFL exam? If anybody else wants to answer this question, you can just write your response in the discussion box for this video. And together we can all talk about this topic. All right, thanks.